is up, everybody? Keith, aka Gator Guy 231. It's Thursday, August 20th. 4 games of game 2. Let's just jump right into it. Don't have a ton of time today, so I just want to get some of these picks. I think it should be a very interesting slate, and the good news is some of the biggest news that we have to watch is in the first game. So let's jump right to it. Just a quick reminder, if this is your first time watching, or if you've watched a few times and you haven't decided to subscribe to the channel, please, the nicest thing you can do and the biggest compliment you can provide us, hit the subscribe button, help us get to our next goal, which is that 750 plateau. All right, let's go look at the first game, which is Miami versus Indiana. Almost at Indianapolis. Minus 4 total for the Heat, 214.5 total. Miami is up 1-0 in the series. So the big thing we want to watch here is just two injury news. First off is Oladipo. Had the eye injury last game. We need to see if he plays. If he does not, Justin Holiday will likely take his place, be a really, really good value to fit in what is a stud-filled slate at 3,900. Played 32 minutes last game. Went 4 for 4, 17.25 DK points. Look, that's kind of Holiday's game. He's not going to do a ton of other stuff, but he can get really hot. And if he does, at 3,900, he could easily hit 5X. Could even see, him going 25 plus, which, that's all that you would need for that type of value. The other piece of injury we want to watch is Jay Crowder. He is questionable. I was going to say it was either an ankle or a hamstring. With a sprained ankle, if he is not able to go, I think it would be a big boost to Andre Iguodala. Iggy only had 9.25 points in 25 minutes, but if you get him off to 30 points, we saw before the playoffs started, he was on a really, really nice run, 26, 32, 28 in 3 straight games. At 3,400, I think he'd be one of the premier values on the slate. All right, let's just talk about a couple of other plays and then jump to the next game. I think that your 2 premier plays in the game are Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. Jimmy Butler was absolutely unbelievable game 1, 48.75 DK points on 8 of 15 shooting and got to the line 12 times. 4 steals. We know the little beef that he has with TJ Warren. He says there's no beef there. I don't believe you, Jimmy. You are the type of guy that does not bear a grudge, so he's going to go hard. And plus, Jimmy Butler's always sees himself as an alpha, especially when the playoffs come around. He's one of those clutch guys that we love to target. So I think he is actually the guy I'm most likely to pay in that mid-range here. Bam is fine. Brogdon's fine. Turner is a little overpriced for me. Dragic is no longer the free square that he was last slate. He's only 4,400, so he's the easy lock. Went for 42.5 DK. I think he is fine here at 5,900, especially since we know, none's out of the rotation. So Dragic is going to see between that 32 to 35 minutes, 19 shots. It really, for me, is going to depend on, do I want to go, a route with, mid-tier Dragic, or do I want to kind of go stars and scrubs and try to fit 3 studs? I think for me, obviously you're going to play Harden. And then just deciding, are you going to go Giannis, are you going to go Davis, are you going to go LeBron as well? Or do you kind of want to drop down and play maybe play 2 of Jimmy and Paul, whereas you might kind of look at a guy like Dragic more often. Let's see if anybody else just kind of goes out to me. The one thing I do want to just mention, I think Duncan Robinson, Keats and I ended up having way too much of him on Tuesday. He played terrible, 2 for 8 from the 3. I think he turns it around here. I took a quick look at some optimizers and models this morning. He was popping everywhere. So after not being popular last slate, sounds like he's going to have might be decently owned here. Pricing did get tougher, so to see him get it dropped down. And, if we don't see Crowder, that will shorten the Heat rotation a little bit. So we might see, 30 minutes of Duncan. If you go back to regular season, he was very, very consistent when he was hitting threes. That's just the biggest thing on Duncan Robinson is he's hitting threes or he isn't. And if he's not going to hit threes, he's going to miss value. All right, let's go to the next game. OKC at Houston. Really have a lot of interest in this game. It is a 226 total, 2.5 point spread for Houston. OKC is down 1. With Westbrook out, obviously Harden's going to be your lock in every lineup. Again, I don't care that he wasn't great. Last game only finished with 58 and a quarter. I think, the price that I probably would have to consider start fading is like 13,000 here. So in my opinion, you're still getting a discount. 22 shots, 13 threes. Look, he's an 80 to 90 point ceiling here. Hell, he could get to 100. I'm not fading. So, I'm just going to kind of move on from that. The other two other plays that I really like on Houston, actually three. I think Eric Gordon is actually a really nice value at 4,900. We see when whether it was Chris Paul last year or Russell Westbrook this year, when they're out, Eric Gordon kind of takes over as that number 2 role. Took 17 shots. The encouraging part is played 30 minutes. You could actually see that go up more. 30.75 DK. So under sub 5K, I think is an elite value. Other guy, Jeff Green's just been absolutely amazing for them, playing that backup center role. 38.5 DK in 32 minutes last game. Sub 5K. It's just crazy. Like, Jeff Green's never somebody that you get excited to click on, but he's just been damn good for Houston since getting there. Well, I think 38.5 might be a little bit of an outlier. I have no problem firing him up. The other guy I just want to bring up, I just want to check on House. I'm not that. And, I think House is fine. He's going to play big minutes. But the other guy I was going to mention because center could be kind of tough if you don't go Davis, is PJ Tucker. Kind of mentioned last preview, Tucker's a guy that always steps it up in the playoffs. He's going to even more minutes. But 23.5 DK in 34 minutes. I think there's a good chance that he gets into that 20 to 25 range again at 4,400. Fills your center spot, which, again, could be tough. And you go from there. On the Thunder side of the ball, really only one guy. I'm actually selling that short. Maybe 2.5 guys. So Chris Paul, first off, I think is just an elite play today. And there's a chance that he might go under-owned again. He was 1 assist shy of a triple-double. We know that there's a little bit of grudge going against Houston, his former team. And then just the reality is this, OKC has to have him be the second best player on the floor. It needs to be Harden and Paul bossing the game, or OKC doesn't have a chance. So I really like Paul to have another huge game here. I really think I want to play him in my main line. I just think that the matchup is great, and, he has a chance to carry them in this game. Gallinari, the last preview I kind of mentioned, I think was going to play more minutes than he did, 33 minutes. I kind of shied away because I thought that he could struggle versus Covington, but 29 real points, 3 boards, 3 assists. Both of those, the rebound and assist category, are stuff that could go up and give him even more ceiling. So 6,600, I think he's fine. The other guy I think that we do have to consider is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He was just absolutely awful. Game 1, 2 for 8 in 35 minutes. They're going to have him step up more. I'm not going to be on him personally. I think there's better players in the range, but it works. I guess the other guy we should just mention is Steven Adams. He's the biggest mismatch on the floor with the Rockets wing small ball. Only played 28 minutes. That was kind of my concern. But he did get a price decrease to 5,600 after dropping 36 DK. 5,600 to me is that sweet spot that he's very in play, especially with how weak the center pool is. All right, Orlando, Milwaukee. Excuse me. I think this game is going to decide the slate in a lot of ways. I was absolutely shocked that Orlando showed up so much and won game 1 versus Milwaukee. Milwaukee is better than Orlando in every single way. And keep in mind, I am a Magic fan. Especially without Aaron Gordon. Just shocking all the way around. I don't think it's going to happen today. I think Giannis is going to be absolutely pissed to high hell that they lost game 1. I really do think that Milwaukee's going to win the next 4. Just to me, it's just, can Orlando keep it close? Because if Orlando can keep it close, there's a ton of value in this game. And you might want to play Giannis. So let's talk about that. I think in a lot of ways, predicting blowouts, as I've mentioned before, and then not even taking my own advice, is just a fool's game. You do it, the game stays close, and guys go off. And then you stack up a game, and it blows out, and you lose your skin. It's just going to all depend on, what the rosters do. So I think that this game, to me, is Giannis or value. Nick Vucevic was absolutely amazing. Game 1, 62 DK, 35, 14, and 4. If Aaron Gordon is in, that will decrease his ceiling a ton. That said, I don't think Vucevic will be popular at all. He's just at a price tier that people are going to go up to like the studs like Davis, Braun, Giannis, or people are going to go down to like Butler, Paul, or like high sixes. So Vucevic should be under owned. So if you do want to stack this game up, do like a Giannis and run it back with Vucevic, some values. I think that could make some sense. Giannis, you don't need to talk about Giannis. He's the MVP. He actually, I'm shocked he didn't drop 80 game one. I think that is in play if the game stays close. But if not, 11-3, you have a great chance to get like 60 to 70 DK, which is, hard to ever avoid. Let's kind of drop down. I don't think you'll be playing Middleton at 7,200 with Milwaukee healthy, where I think you'll start looking at Milwaukee pieces. First off is Eric Bledsoe. Only 28 minutes game one. I would assume that goes up a little bit, but 28.5 DK. Better player than a $6,300 tag, so I think he is very fine. Brook Lopez was a huge chalk bust game one. 30 minutes, only put up 15 DK. I think that will definitely turn around. I expect at least 25 DK from him. And, the way he's been playing in the bubble, he gives you even more ceiling than that. So fine play again. I talked about center not being that great because I just don't think that you're that excited to play anybody. But Lopez at 2,500, or I'm sorry, at 5K, I think is very fine. Markelle Fultz is going to be super chalk again. I don't know why they didn't adjust his price after a really nice game one, 27.5 DK in 29 minutes. Again, I think that you project him for that 28 to 30 minute role at 4,500. And he gives you a great chance and honestly close to a 5X floor with, 7, 8X ceiling. DJ Augustine was stunning game one. Only shot 3 for 11, but had 11 points and 11 assists off the bench. I think 4,300 gives me a huge pause on him, especially if he's only going to play low 20 minutes. I think just pay the extra 200 to get Fultz. But, you might see people with both of them yet again. James Ennis will be very popular as a value play. Going back to games in the bubble, he now has how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight games of 20 or more. It's only priced at 4K. I do think that, he's seen a big boost without Aaron Gordon. So if Aaron Gordon does play, I think you downgrade to Ennis a bit, but at 4K for a starter who's going to see high 20s, low 30s in minutes, get it. Why not? I guess is what a lot of people are going to say. I played Duncan Robinson over Ennis personally, but I don't know if I'll be the minority or if that's what a lot of people are going to do. The other person to mention, if we do see Gordon out, is Gary Clark will get the start. Gary Clark played 28 minutes game one, 26.5 DK. Cheeky, what is that? 7, 8X. I'm sorry, that's like 9X. So yeah, he's very in play. He does grab the worst matchup possible with Giannis, but held his own game one, at least produced some fantasy points for us. All right, final game of the night, Portland versus LA. Don't think that you're playing Dame at 11K, despite his 51 DK game one. Just think that LA, does have the defenders to throw at him. And just 11,000 price tag is just brutal. When you just think that you're taking him over the likes of Giannis or LeBron or Davis, and LeBron and Davis in a must-win. So, yeah, no Dame for me. But, if you think he's going to go off, that's an elite GPP play because I think more people are going to fall in line with me. James and Davis are both going to play. Don't worry about the QB behind them. James was beyond elite game one, dropping a 23, 17, and 16 triple-double. With them down 0-1, I think that James is going to even be more assertive here. He and Davis, I just think that the two of them are going to go, we just got to take this over. The rest of the Lakers were so bad. Davis, to me, is just really intriguing because that's center eligibility. And, you get a little discount on him over James. And then a bigger discount over Giannis. Davis did take 24 shots, got to the line 17 times. I think 52 was the worst outcome he could have. I still think that he just provides just such an insane mismatch for Portland, who has no size other than Nurkic and Whiteside, and neither one of them can move. So, if Davis shows up with 70 here, I will not be shocked at all. I'm definitely going to have some Davis in my lineups. Just, is he going to make my optimal build? That's what I'm still deciding. After that, I think there's a huge drop-off in this game. Nurkic at 9K, I just don't see how you do it. McCollum's fine, but 7,700 is kind of steep considering, his role. I think Melo at 5,900 is okay. Put 36.5 DK first game because of his rebounding was actually absolutely great. Shot 3 for 11. So, you could definitely see him shooting a little bit better and having a bigger game. Where I think that you'll see more people on this game is from the value side things. Other one thing to note, Hassan Whiteside actually did play 26 minutes because of Lakers size. Put up 26 DK. I think 4,900 is almost too much of an adjustment where it takes him out of play. But if you showed up with him, he always has elite ceiling when he gets his block shots going. And he got a couple more points, a couple more boards. He could have put up 40. Yeah, the values here just are tough. I guess, 3,100 for Javon McGee getting, 16 to 18 minutes, just praying that he gets, to 5X in that time. I can see it. There's not much else down there like super low, but that's about it. Danny Green was so bad. 3,900. I think it was, what was he last slate that I thought he was okay. 3,200 last slate. I think 39. Again, Duncan Robinson sitting there. James Ennis at 4K. I think those are better plays than Danny Green. All right, guys. Well, I hope that helped. Good luck today. Thank you guys for watching, and have once again, Keith, aka Gator Duke Guy 231. Hope you all crush. See you.